I just read an article online on ESPN that Pernell Whitaker was hit by a car and killed last night in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Shocked is all I can say. I am a pretty big boxing fan, and Pernell Whitaker was one of my favorite boxers of all time. He could have possibly been a pound for pound best boxer ever. The only problem with him was he had a pretty bad drug problem, so he retired from the sport early just because of his drug addiction. I remember watching him fight Oscar De La Hoya, and I'm a pretty big Oscar De La Hoya fan, and in that fight he lost in a decision, which I disagree with. I think Pernell Whitaker smoked Oscar De La Hoya. He was one of the greatest boxers that ever lived, and he never got his due diligence in that, just for the fact of the drugs again. The most underrated boxer, in my opinion, of all time. Nobody really talks about Pernell Whitaker. He was very popular in the late 90s, early 2000s, until, you know, all that bad things happened to him. So I was reading online again, he was hit by a car and he died at the scene. So he must have been crossing possibly a highway, or the car was just driving at a high rate of speed. You know, that's when you know you're getting older in life, is when you, as a kid, you know, I was, 19, 20 years old watching this guy box and, knocking people out, just kind of going through the motions. And when I was reading the article, it said he was 55 years old. I'm like, wow, 55 years old, but I'm 40, So when he was boxing, when he was in his prime, he was 30. I was like 15, 16, I guess. And just a very, very sad way to go, to be a multi-millionaire and famous, and everyone loves and adores you. And just to go out like that, it's pretty disheartening, especially for a champion such as himself. Wow, that sucks. I don't know if he's going to get a lot of, I'm sure he would get a lot of media play. But people often forget when you're rich and famous, and then you stop, and then you kind of just disappear into the confines of your own little world. People tend to forget. He wasn't a social media star, so it doesn't have the same ramifications of if somebody famous on YouTube died or somebody famous on Instagram died. Because he's been pretty much out of the spotlight. I mean, I can't remember, what, 15 years? So anyways, just wanted to make this video really quick. Rest in peace to Pernell Whitaker. If anybody's a boxing fan out there, go watch his fights on YouTube. I wish I could watch him. I wish I could watch a prime Pernell Whitaker fight a prime Floyd Mayweather. I put $100 on Whitaker. He was just that damn good, and he was just a great puncher. He was just a great boxer, and it's very sad to see that happen to him, to get hit by a car. And so I don't know if the guy that was driving the car, I don't know if it was an accident, I don't know if it was his fault, it was Mr. Whitaker's fault, but very, very sad day. Gloomy day here, hanging out at McDonald's, and very befitting. Just another great boxer, another great champion killed. All right, guys, I'll check up with you later. Peace out.